Hey there, gang. Welcome back to Papa's Model Workshop. I'm Papa. This is my workshop. Hey, we're going to do a Papa's Quick Hits video. What do you do when you're working on a car and you get up to the gauge package right there, the gauge cluster? See that? Right there. Okay? And you don't have a decal to go into the gauges. Well, one of the things that I do is I'll use a panel liner. Okay? So I'll show you how I do that. Let me show you this rather quickly. Hang on. Go and visit my sponsor, okay, for 10% off of Gallery and Gallery airbrushes and equipment and Kaleido paints using that discount code right there. And until May 31st, you can go to Amazon and you can use that discount right there. And if that doesn't work for you, try it in lowercase, okay? I've had a few people contact me saying that they had a little bit of trouble with that discount code. So if that's the case, try it in lowercase. And if that still doesn't work, then let me know. Let's head down to the workbench, okay? Okay, so we're down here at the workbench, and here is our panel liner right there, okay? And another option is you can go with Speedball acrylic ink, all right? Now, this panel liner is an enamel, and this, well, obviously it's an acrylic, okay? So you can go in either direction, okay? A lot of times what I will do is I will do panel lines using the Speedball, and I'll go in and I will use a calligraphy pen, okay? Sometimes I will thin this down, sometimes I will use it straight. With the panel liner, again, same thing. Sometimes I'll thin it down, sometimes I'll use it straight out of the bottle, all right? If you're putting on panel lines, for example, and you get that little blotch, you can use one of these, okay? And you know, if you touch the area, sometimes it'll take it off, okay? If it doesn't, you can use a little bit of mineral spirits if you're using the panel liner, which again, as I mentioned, is an enamel. If you're using the Speedball, then you know, you could use something as simple as water, okay? So there's a couple of different options for you, okay? So let's take a closer look at this gauge cluster right there, okay? And I want to show you something else. You see how shiny that is, okay? And also, these are the headlight bezels, and they're nice and shiny, okay? I left these shiny because I want to have some reflectivity to it when I put the lenses in, all right? Now, take a look at this. In fact, really, you can look at almost anything else on here except for the gauge cluster and the headlight bezels, all right? You see how dull that is compared, can you see it? Right, if you compare this headlight bezel to this grill, right, and that's because I shot the rest of these pieces with dull coat. All right, and the reason I did that was I wanted to take the shine away on these pieces to take away that toyish look. So Tester's dull coat is what I used to dull down the shine and make it look just a little bit more realistic, okay? You know, that's just me. I mean, a lot of people do this, and they like that real shiny effect, and that's fine. But if you want to dull it down and take away that toyish look, that's how I did it, okay? Tester's dull coat, okay? So let's grab some of this Tamiya panel liner, okay, and shake that up real well, okay, and have a Q-tip. This happens to be a Tamiya cotton swab, okay, it's got a little point on it, all right, or a regular Q-tip will work. And the reason I'm saying have that handy is because when I dip this in, okay, hold this upright so I don't spill it. That would be a dunderhead thing that I would do, is try to show you this and then spill it, okay? Now, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to show you, okay? And I'm just going to touch. Just going to touch. Okay, and excuse my arm there for a second. Okay, and can you see in the larger gauges how it looks like it brings out the the dial settings and so forth, because that panel liner is settling into the recessed areas, and the raised areas are remaining above that, and it looks like, you know, a typical gauge cluster, okay? Now, I said to keep the toothpick, not toothpick, Q-tip. These came out pretty well. The one here on the bottom, middle bottom, got a little excessive, okay? So if that happens, just come in here with your cotton swab and just touch that, okay? Just touch it. And it soaks up some of that excess. Can you see? Right now you can see the gauge itself inside that you know, little round area. Okay, so it's as simple as that when you don't have decals. Okay, now there are other instances where you may want to use something other than black. All right, now your panel liner sometimes will come in different colors. Okay, this one is an orange brown. So, you know, go to, I think I got this at, let me think a minute. Where did I get Michael's? That's where I got this, I think. I think I got this at Michael's. Or it could have been Hobby Lobby. You know, I'm just not sure. But point is shop around and take a look, see what they have available. Okay. The other option, as I mentioned, is this Speedball acrylic ink. Now, this comes in a number of different colors and so forth. Over on the other bench, I have this in a violet color. I have it in orange. I have it in just a great range of different colors, okay? A lot of times what you can do is you can actually turn this into a wash. And speaking of washes, you can do that with almost any color, okay? Here's an example. This is Pro Scale. This is a lacquer paint, okay? Here is Mr. Color, Mr. Metallic, all right, green. This is also a lacquer paint. You can make a wash out of these. Here's an acrylic by Kaleido, all right? And if you want a really, really thin wash, where you can do something along the lines of what I just did in this instrument panel here, okay, this instrument cluster. Okay, this is not focusing for some reason, but you just saw me do it, so you know what I'm talking about. Or let me show you this. These are seats, okay? And I needed to make a wash out of the magenta color. That's what this is on the wings. That's a magenta acrylic, Kaleido acrylic, and I wanted to make a wash out of it. And the way I accomplished that, and I mixed it at a ratio of 10:1. Okay, that's what I have found that works if you want to make a wash out of an individual color, for example. Okay, now if you go 10:1, and you're talking about 10 milliliters of thinner or reducer, depending on what you're using, to 1 part of paint, 10:1. So your total volume that you're using is 11 milliliters, all right? And if you're doing a small area like that, okay, where you're just going to put, you know, in this case, 2 lines, or something very small like that instrument cluster, mixing up a total volume of 11 milliliters, that's a heck of a lot, and it's a lot of waste. So what that whittles down to, that whittles down to 2.5 milliliters of your thinner. Okay, you use a pipette just like this. All right, and you would measure out 2.5 milliliters of your thinner, and then 1/4 of a milliliter of your paint. 1/4 of a milliliter of paint and 2.5 milliliters of thinner will give you a ratio of 10:1. It's a lot less waste when you do it that way, okay? So again, here it is, okay, right there. I've got, you know, that's from another video, so you don't need to see that. But this is your 10:1 ratio right there. And it whittles down to 2.5 milliliters and 1/4 milliliter, okay? That's thinner, that's paint, okay? And again, as I said, much less waste. Okay, very simple to calculate that. If you want to go with 10 milliliters of paint, oh, I'm sorry, 10 milliliters of thinner, cut that in half. That's 5. All right. Cut it in half again, and that's 2.5. All right, that's how I arrived at that amount of thinner. Okay, same thing with your paint. If you're going 10 to 1 and you're starting with 1 milliliter of paint, cut it in half. Now you're down to a half a milliliter. Cut it in half again. That's a quarter of a milliliter. All right. So that will help you alleviate some of that waste. Okay. So that's it for this. I try to get these quick hits videos in quickly. So we're gonna end it up with that. Okay. One thing you want to do is when you're doing things with a wash or you're painting, make sure you come in with a brush and brush away hairs and all that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you something quickly, and then I am going to let you go. I went to inspect this. I was getting ready to shoot clear varnish on here, and I noticed a big hair right there, and then a little mark that was over here, right? When I went in to do this. So examine things before you paint, and the anti-static brush really helps a lot. Now, my friend, I think this came from Roland Ron. He sent me a message and he said, well, you know what? You don't have to always go with the Tamiya anti-static brush because sometimes these are difficult to find. He said that he uses just, an ordinary brush, a soft brush, and he uses something called Bounce. Let me just take a quick look. Yeah, Bounce. I think that's a hair product. Or maybe it's a laundry, I don't know. It's called Bounce, and you spray that on your brush, and then your brush will become an anti-static brush. Okay, so anyway, just something that I wanted to mention to you if you can't find a Tamiya anti-static brush. Okay, so thanks for Roland Ron for sending that in. Okay, gang, that's going to do it for this quick hits video. I hope you found that helpful, and I will see all of you in the next video.